How do you describe this film?
Well, it's hard. I work very hard to be the audience who would do that. But I can tell you that I think it's a melodrama that combines with elements of suspense and sometimes with the elements of a musical, and sometimes with a music video. So it's all kind of put in this sort of kind of musical structure, I believe. But I guess it's a story of a mother, a sister, a daughter, a lover, a wife, a friend, and a dancer. So to me, she's the force of nature. She represents nature.
Yes, after Jackie, another portrait, very vivid, and this time I think more free even, but it's a force of nature against institution in a way, or bondage.
But that's how
convention.
That's how we see it, because probably you and I belong to a generation that is older than the generation that's portrayed in the movie, and the generation that is from this century, right? The newer generation, the generation that's the age of Mariana, like 25 years old, they see the world in a very different way, and they don't challenge the system. They are the system somehow. It's just a new system with a new logic and with new and different perceptions about love, family, and a number of issues. And I think that's very interesting. I feel that it's like we are from the previous century, literally, looking at that generation that was born in this century, and kind of we try to understand them. And I think I'm personally a witness of that. And this movie is somehow a testimony of what we see in that generation.
And what did you learn doing this film?
I learned a lot of things. It's a good question. No one makes those questions. I learned a lot of things. I learned about love, I think, how important it is. And I learned about music. And I learned about, how can people really could connect to each other in very different ways.
What kind of emotion do you have to be here in Venice? Which kind of relationship do you have with this festival?
Well, it's obviously a very wonderful place to start with the process of a movie, especially when you show into the world. But it's not only Venice. I think it's Italy for me, and the Italian cinema, and how in this country cinema is something that is very important for the culture. So I feel that I'm somehow at home. I've been here many times, and I have a lot of friends that are Italian, and I'm very close to Italian culture. And I think it's a great place to show a movie like this that has such a different layers that maybe belong to our culture in Latin America. And you guys are Latin too, so it's in a way that there are bridges for our cultures and society that are good for us and for the film.
Each of your films is different and surprising. So what's next?
I don't know, but what I do know is that I never try to repeat myself. Otherwise, it would be so uninteresting just to keep making the same movie with the same subjects and the same tones. I try to find and to discover places that aren't, comfortable for me, in order to create an interesting crisis, and those crises would deliver a movie that hopefully is original, and originality is a tricky word today.